All right, we're at the home of Mr. and Mrs. Cleveland. We're looking at doing some siding work for them. Really just looking at sidewall with a couple ancillary painting items is pretty much our scope of work. We're not going to address any kind of soffit or fascia at this point in time. Certainly we talked about the possibility of that being an add-on down the road, but the immediate concern is some siding that's in pretty rough condition, so that we really want to make sure we get addressed. So starting over here on the right side, just have old cedar siding basically, and you can see it's just run right down into the roof line, which is why it's in the condition it is in. So one thing we did talk about is when we install Hardie, we'll leave the proper exposure, any Z flashing that's needed, we're going to put in right along this roof line here to make sure that that doesn't happen on the substrate. This will be a complete tear off, going back with 7/16 inch OSB, Tyvek, seam tape, and then we'll put on our trim and siding. Be going back with a 8 1/4 inch cedar mill select. And we have basically the ends of each side of the house are exactly the same. This side is actually about 5 feet longer, but it's basically just two, the down gable, and then we have two kind of upper portions here. Coming around to the back, and again, complete tear off in the whole situation all the way around. And then back is primarily where we have most of our siding. You can see this area here is really needing some attention here before it starts causing additional damage to the framing and substructure. All windows and doors that are in siding will be retrimmed, wrapped in Hardie plank siding, sealed. We'll also have a flashing on there too to prevent any kind of water infiltration and help out with the weather infiltration down the road. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think we have 6 windows and 2 doors that will be retrimmed in Hardie plank siding. On this back door, we actually do have a true 1x4, not a brick mold, so that will be able to become Hardie plank. Let's see if we can get back here. But pretty straightforward everywhere else. Got some on the upper story there. We do have some soffit right up in here that has fallen down, so we do need to retack that as part of the project, even though we're not addressing any soffit or fascia. Just as a service issue, this run of soffit we will retack and make sure it's in much better condition than it is right now. A couple more windows. We got a set of triple single hungs here that will be all retrimmed. The facing here, in between, right here and right here, will all become Hardie plank as well. So not only will we have Hardie 1x4 around the perimeter, but all that facing will then become Hardie plank as well. And then coming over here to the side, just some more areas you can see is really needs to be addressed right here. Needs to be taken care of and fixed up. Again, we'll leave the proper exposure on the roof line, about 1.5 inches or so, so we don't have that Hardie siding coming right down into the roof line, which will make things, last the way they should last. Again, this little area, we will need to have all this stuff pulled away from the walls, the shelf taken down, just so our guys have clear access to do what they need to do. This shed here, it's probably about a 1.5 by 4 foot shed. That is going to be gone. So what we'll have on this wall is basically just a flat wall. It's about a 6 foot wall from the corner here by the gate right to the door frame here. Again, this door is trimmed to 1x4, not in brick mold, so we'll be set there. As far as retrimming that door in nice Hardie plank that'll match the siding. So that's pretty much our scope of work for the back. We will make sure, that we talked about this on our walk around, that, we're going to reseal the siding to that chimney with a 50-year elastomeric caulking. So we won't have, you can tell it's just been sealed and resealed over the years. It's pulled away, the caulk is cracking, so we'll make sure we do a great job there and give that the longest life as possible. You know, being of course how the house shifts, but we'll make sure that's caulked with a good caulk so we won't have as many issues down the road. Coming off to the left side here, again, it's just the exact mirror image of the right side. It's just about 5 feet shorter than the right. So you can kind of see, get an angle here. Again, it's just an inverted gable up top and then a gable end down here on the bottom. We did talk about this gable vent. It looks like it was kind of probably put in after. They do have a good ridge vent on the roof, so we want to maintain this gable vent, but it was just slapped on to the exterior of the siding. So we can use this vent. The slats are in good shape, but when we do the tear off, we'll take this vent, reattach it, and trim it out accordingly so it's done the right way instead of just on top of the exterior of the siding. So we can fix that up, make it a little bit cleaner. We'll trim it out to make it look like a window too with the 1x4, doing all the caulking, sealing, and the butt-to application as we talked about everywhere else. We opted not for garage door wrap in Hardie, but this area above the garage doors, this center post in between, will all become Hardie plank, and we will leave the garage door frame alone for now. Talking about replacing the garage doors, so maybe down the road somewhere we can address the garage door frame for them. But right now, just looking to just do the area above and that center post. So that's pretty much what we got. Come back around to the front here. These 4 columns, those will all be painted. And then we'll do a nice, you can see around the bottom, we'll do a nice little 1x4 shoe mold down there to just give them a finished out look. This gable we did add in. As of right now, we're not talking about doing the little the accents, which we could do, and we talked about that, just using a 1x Hardie and just cutting all the pieces just like it is now. But for right now, we're going to leave that alone. Deb, if you have any suggestions, we talked about shingles. Didn't like any of that idea, so if you have any suggestions, Deb, that you can share with them, probably be greatly appreciated. They said they did want to find something different to do up there, but for right now, we'll just use a smooth vertical, go over the existing, and make that area Hardie plank. That's pretty much about it. Mr. and Mrs. Cleveland, we really appreciate you having me out today, and appreciate you guys considering us for the project, and we look forward to working for you. Thanks so much.